there's evidence of significant irregularities, I think it should be questioned. I don't think it should be accepted hook, line, and sinker. But I think that the real problem in our country right now, and it should be a concern to both parties, is that we don't require voter ID in a lot of places, and we know that there are people out there who have nefarious intentions, and we know that 14% of illegals are registered to vote. You know, these kinds of things don't exactly inspire confidence.
But what about the people that are afraid there's going to be intimidation at the voting booths come election?
Well, we've seen that too, haven't we?
Is that something people should be afraid of, or no?
Well, it should be something that we should be concerned about. If we can send men to the moon, and we can do complex surgical procedures, and we can invent iPhones and all kinds of amazing things, can't we prevent voter fraud? Of course we could if we wanted to. You have to ask the question, why don't we want to?
Dr. Carson, on a state like Nevada where there's a lot of immigrant population, then we see another time when Donald Trump says again that he insists on building the wall. Do you think that this is a good argument making the case on a state where it's very important to have the support of Latino voting?
Well, I think you have to do what is right, not what, curries, favor with any particular group. And the fact of the matter is, we have a problem on the southern border. I'm not as concerned about Mexicans and Hondurans as I am about terrorists. And if you talk to the sheriffs down there, they will tell you that a number of the people coming through are what they call OTMs, other than Mexicans. And they come from Somalia and from Iraq and from all kinds of places. And at a time when we know that radical Islamic extremists want to destroy us. So it is irresponsible for us not to control our borders.
So what is your reading on the sentence, we have very bad hombres here? Do you think that he might be implying that anybody who speaks Spanish in this country is a bad person?
I think he was making a joke.
Dr. Carson, what do people mean about
debates? How do you see results? How do you evaluate it?
Looking back on the last three elections or the last three debates? Okay. I think this debate was very good. I think the tone was more civil, and I think they got an opportunity to really discuss the issues a lot more than they did delving into the mud, and I was very pleased to see that.
Dr. Carson, when Mr. Trump talks about voter fraud, particularly large-scale voter fraud, how big are we talking in terms of percentages? I mean, are we talking about the possibility that it comes down to a few hundred votes like Florida in 2000? Or is there any concern that an election decided by 5-6 percentage points could be stolen due to voter fraud?
We also know that 14% of illegals are registered to vote. So those are not things that inspire confidence.
So if the election were lost by 10 points, you think there's a chance that there were 13 million fraudulent votes cast in this country?
Who knows? Here's the issue. We can send people to the moon, we can do complex operations, we can invent complex electronic devices, and we could stop voter fraud if we wanted to.
So what is the barometer?
Nope. Okay. No?
Where did he go?
Well, but they're going.
Where did he go?
Oh, you're right. We're following you. We have to follow you. You have to lead.
No, we're following him.
No, he's the next interview. Yeah. We're following him. Israeli television.
Okay, come on. Show me.
Dr. Carson, Israeli television.
Just a minute, please.
Ask him if he knows what the Knesset is. He doesn't know a thing. But we're asking. Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
Run back into me. That was cool.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Subscribe.